Yeah, it's CC, CEO. Wanna change your life? Come see me, yo. I'ma teach you how to build up wealth for your family, not just for yourself. I'm a bestseller, a house flipper, a businesswoman, a go-getter, a big investor, a gold builder that could teach you to get richer like millions, baby. You really about to fill your savings. You about to have multiple streams to pass your children, baby. Let me teach you to get your credit on track in the long run. You'll make it all back at Catalyst and watch it all psychology black-owned firm, but we ain't all black.
What's up? What's up? What's up, everybody? Happy Tuesday. It's your girl, Constance Carter, and this is the Grow Your Money podcast, where we talk about how to grow your money and not blow your money, because if you blow your money, it ain't a damn thing funny. What's happening, good people out there in the internet? Thank you always for coming live with me and talking back to me and talking black to me. Today, what's up? Everybody, you know I love to shout you out where you're watching from. So I see my regulars are on here. You guys come on in and tell all your friends. Let everybody know that the Grow Your Money podcast is on right now. And we're going to be talking about some things that I think are really important, as I always try to do when I come here and I come live, is talk to you about things that I think are important to you. But for everybody, all of my regulars, what's up, lovely JR? I see you. What's up, Miss Sophia, Inita? Hey, and everybody else, where are you watching from? Because I know that we have people who watch from all over the world. And I want to shout you out. I want you to talk back to me and talk black to me, because know that this is a dialogue and not a monologue. And so I love for you to converse with me. And if this is your first time watching, let me know. I want to shout you out. I want to shout out all my first time watchers. So for all the people who are watching for the first time, this is interactive. And so when you talk to me, I like to talk to you. Okay, I know. See, I knew we had people from across the pond, baby. What's up, Jones from Austria? Hi, Michael Michael Howard from Texas. What's up? What's up, Tamara from South Carolina? Thank you for always joining me. Thank you. The other thing is, if you have a black business or you own a black business, what's up, Keisha? Okay, Keisha's new here. Everybody, welcome Keisha to the family. Yes. What's up, Maria in Texas? What's up, sis? So for all the people who have a black-owned business or know of a black-owned business, it's always important that we shout you out. Why do I always shout out black-owned businesses? And I'll never stop doing that. The reason why I do is because it's so important that we support each other, because nobody else is going to support us the way we support us. And the narrative, I know, is changing. I'm talking about the great wealth transfer today. And I think it's really important that we engage and we get in on this conversation, because it's something that's been happening, that I've been doing. I've been studying a lot about it. I always try to talk about things that are going to edify us in some way. And I always want us to be proactive and not reactive as Black folks, because a lot of times we end up being on the back of the train. Somebody said, I do these videos, these Black History Month spotlight videos, and somebody said, and I always try to be positive and talk about the things that we can do, how we need to come together, how we need to practice collective economics. And somebody said on the comment today, I think it was, they said, why is she always telling us, how we come together, how we can come together? Because we've been coming together as a people. And every time we do, it's always destroyed by outside influences. And they're right. But what does that mean? Does that mean that we give up and retreat, and that we don't continue to try to rebuild? I believe that it's a different time, and we have different energy and resources, and we have different knowledge base. And so nobody could take that away from us. Before, when we were building our communities, we had 19 million acres of land, Black people. Now we have less than 1% as a whole. So coming out of slavery, Black people own 19 million acres of land. And, it was taken from us by different reasons. Land was taken from us by eminent domain. They would say that they needed to build freeways through our communities, urban renewal. They would put our communities in underwater, or create parks, things like that, right? So every time we've accumulated some wealth, they've done things. I believe that today is a new day. And we have far more people who are knowledgeable and who have money and who are millionaires and billionaires. And they just, they didn't fuck around and give us the internet. We're more connected than we've ever been in the history of the world, because we have technology. And if we utilize the technology right, then we'll be ahead of the game. We won't be victims. We'll be victors. So I'm going to always talk about, even though I do try to tell you guys things from a historical perspective, so you know where we're been. That way, you know where we are, but you can also know where we're going. But I'm still optimistic about us, because even though we've had all of these hardships in the history of this country, yet still we're still rising. We're still, we're still performing. We're still owning. We're still building, and that's who we are. We're a resilient people, and you have to think about it. I think that we're pretty special. You got to think about it. We are pretty special people, because time after time after time, they do everything they can to destroy us. And we like that. We like roaches. We don't die, we multiply. We still come up, and we still continue to rise, even though they've intentionally done things to try to destroy us. And so I'm always going to talk about the positive things that we can do. I want to tell you the negative things, because I want you to understand where we've been, right? But I don't want us to dwell on it, and I don't want us to hate anybody. I'm not talking about, I'm not saying that we should forgive and forget, but I don't think that we should hate people. I think we should be focused. Our focus and energy should be on building. Our focus and energy should be on building us, building our communities. And that's why I come here live every day, is because I want to talk about what we can do positively to build our communities. Forget, everything that they talk about. I think we should waste less time surfing the internet on things that don't provide any productivity for us. Spend less time on the shade room and things like that, and spend more time on building. And those are the things that I want to talk about. Of course, every now and then I want to talk about some ratchet shit too, or I want to talk about some things going on, in the world. But because we are multifaceted also, so we're not just one dimensional. I want to talk about what's going on in the world, but most importantly, I want to talk about things that can edify you as a people. That's what I want to talk about. So I appreciate you. So I see Ascari Transportation, Black-owned business. Now I need to know, like, when we shout you out, it's not just shouting you out just to give you some visibility, because I do want to give you that. I want people to be able to do business with you. So where is your business? What is it that you do? What kind of transportation do you do at Ameriscari Berry? So what kind of transportation do you do? How can they find you? Where can they locate you? Okay. I see David Wicks from Memphis, Tennessee, from Orange Mound area. All right. That's what's up. That's what's up. Okay. What's up, Miss Karen? You always here. I appreciate you, sis. What's up, Sheila? Getting lucky in Kentucky. Where is she from? I think she just might be from Kentucky. What's happening, sis? Just imagine if Black Wall Street would have had insurance companies, or after abolition period of slavery, there was a Black grant writer to invest in Black businesses. We would be way further as people. To be honest with you, Dennis, there were insurance. We did have insurance companies during Black Wall Street. Guess what they did? They refused to pay them out. Yeah. So, what's up, Tosh? Tosh, what's happening? Somebody emailed me about you today. When are you going to be on here with me? What's up? Let's see. We have a lot of people that have been trained by U.S. Army. They know about things, in other words, in other countries, and the people of minorities, not just colored, has been mistreated. And if we come together as a whole people, all people that could not go in the saloon okay. All right. That's what's up. All those who didn't take buying crypto seriously, good luck. We're going to talk a little bit about that too. The great wealth transfer. I see you. I'm Ascari from California. Okay. 53 Drive. I don't know what that means. Oh, okay. So you're a van. All right. What's up, Ursula from Bellflower? Phantom from New Jersey. Talk to Tasha's going to be on here this week. And getting lucky. Okay. So we got some Louisville people. Also, that's another thing too, you guys. Make sure that you're networking amongst each other, because that's also important. Okay. So everything I do, it's surrounded by, coming together, practicing collective economics, us networking together, us building together. There's an African proverb that says, if you want to go fast, go alone. But if you want to go far, you got to go together. And so that's why it's so important that we erase those narratives that have been placed in our communities about what we don't do. We don't work together. We don't build together. We don't do good business. All those things that we've been taught, that have been implanted in us, that we've also regurgitated. We are changing the conversation. We are changing the conversation today. So Black people do good business. Black people are wealth builders. You know, I have a shirt. I have this T-shirt brand that says it's called Conversation Tees. And one of the shirts I say, I always try to have positive things, but it says "Speak life. Your words are prophetic." And so the things that you say out of your mouth about who we are as a people, then they are. So when you say that black people ain't shit and black this and all the negative things about Black people, then you're speaking those things into existence amongst the people who are year round, right? So if you only talk about people who ain't shit, you're only gonna be around ain't shit people. Like that's what you're going to attract. That's what you're gonna manifest. Life and death are in the power of the tongue. But if you're talking light and you're talking love and you're talking light and you want to attract good, because I believe that we can. There is a biblical principle and just a general principle about speaking the things as though they are. When you speak, it will come true. Okay, so I want to put that out there. Before we get started, though, I want to tell you the reason why I come live here every single day is because I want to help you in ways. I do this is called the Grow Your Money podcast, but I also have a training, online training. It's called the Grow Your Money. The Grow Your Money gym, the Grow Your Money Club, where I teach all types of trainings every single day of everything I know. I try to give information to you. So have you joined the Grow Your Money Club yet? If not, why not? The Grow Your Money Club is a comprehensive program designed to take you through the complete wealth building journey. We don't just offer random courses, we guide you along a clear path, starting with fixing your credit and becoming a certified credit expert, to building your business, increasing your cash flow, diversifying your portfolio, and ultimately letting your money work for you. With over 30 trainings designed to increase your net worth, you get to either purchase the trainings individually or go through the 12-month roadmap. Here are just a few of the courses. From campus to cash flows. This is teaching your children to become real estate investors. The wealth map training shows you how to eliminate your debt, increase your credit, and diversify your revenue streams. You can learn to write your book using ChatGPT. Learn how to build your online community. What about 8 ways to make money using AI? Oh, and here's 7 online revenue streams to fund your $1 million dream. How about learning how to purchase tax deeds or land banks? What about getting started in government contracting? If you're a rookie, the Real Estate for Rookies training has everything you need. The Business Blueprint training will help you build your business foundation, get business credit, get business funding, and learn how to pay yourself so that you can scale your business to the next level. Or perhaps you want to create jaw-dropping video content using CapCut, Midjourney, and ChatGPT. There are so many trainings and master classes within the Grow Your Money Club, and I also drop 1 new training per month. You do not want to miss out on this opportunity to invest in yourself, because guess what? You are your biggest commodity. You are your biggest investment. Join the Grow Your Money Club today. So listen, I do that because everything that I've learned over the past 25 years in my career, prior to being in this space where I'm a wealth activist, where I help people, I was in IT. So I have a bit of an IT background, but over the years, I accumulated a lot of information just by training and investing in myself. And so I was able to build the largest Black-owned real estate firm in California, Catalyst Real Estate Professionals. I've been able to write several books. Several of them are bestsellers. I have a coaching program called the Net 7 Collective, where I coach Black women from all over the country. This is a book that we wrote. It's called Unbreakable. I showed them how to become authors. We're writing a children's book right now. We're all writing different individual children's books. I have a marijuana dispensary that I've invested in. I own a mortgage company. I invest in stock and all these different things where I try to diversify my portfolio. And so the things that I teach, the things that I learned that I do, and some of them have been hardships, right? Because I've filed bankruptcy, had a 379 credit score, came back to have over 800 plus credit score. Now I teach credit. I'm a certified credit expert. I teach that inside the Grow Your Money Club. I show you how to write a book. I show you how to invest in stock using Robinhood. I show you how to use Robinhood. I show you how to invest in real estate. All of these trainings are inside the Grow Your Money Club. But there are things that I've done that I've made mistakes in that you don't have to make mistakes if you invest early on. See, what I did is I made mistakes, and then I had to learn from those mistakes, and then I took the training. So I'm giving you, I want you to reverse engineer that, and I want you to get the training first so that you don't make the mistakes, so that you can make the money without the mistakes. All right. That's the whole point of me doing these trainings. But I do want to talk to you about the great wealth transfer. Y'all, have you guys heard about the great wealth transfer? Do you guys know what that is? It's something that's been happening over the last like 20 since 2010. So over the last 10 years, there's this thing called this great wealth transfer. And it's interesting because it means different things to different people, to different groups of people. The great wealth transfer. Well, let me hold on. What did she say? Okay. Wait. Okay, let me go back. This is a lot of comments. I have a great idea that is sure for success, but I have no idea how to start. Lady, I just did the Bring Your Idea to Life training over the weekend, and that went really, really, really well. I wish I should have had the testimonials from that, but that went really well. I had some great folks in there. In fact, I do have the replay available. If you want to take the replay, it's only $59. Go to Bring Your Idea to Life. Go to bringyouridea-to-life.com, and you can get the replay, and you can watch it on demand. So if you go to bring your idea to the number 2 life.com, you can watch this training. It's on demand. It's a full 6 hours, but it's an intensive. There's a workbook that comes along with it, and it will definitely help you to get your idea from here out there. Okay. So for those of you who weren't able to take the Bring Your Idea to Life training, I'm going to do another live training in July. But if you want to take the if you want to take the if you want to do the replay where you can take it on demand, where you can take it at your own pace, you're more than welcome to do that. And it's go to bring your idea to the number 2 life.com, and you could take the replay at on demand at your own leisure for only $59. Okay, so getting lucky in Kentucky, you can do that. She said, I don't want my idea taken when I say it's foolproof. Okay, all right. Dr. Boyce, bless you. Yes, and depending on the type of industry, finding a mentorship program can be a good way to go as well. It is very important that you have a mentor or some type of coach. Let me just say that. I'm going to get into this great wealth transfer, but I do want to talk to you, okay? Because for me, having a mentor and having mentors and coaches it's been paramount in my business. You got to have somebody that's helping you. Who is the person that's leading you and guiding you? If you look at Oprah Winfrey, she talks about having a coach. If you look at TD Jakes, he talks about having a coach. Michael Jordan has coaches. There's a book that oh God, what's the coach Kobe and Michael and all them? Phil Jackson. He wrote a book, I think it's called 12 Rings, and he talks about his approach into why he was able to create champions because of the way he coached. But everybody needs a coach. Even if you're performing at a high level, you need somebody that's going to get you to the next level. And so having a mentor or a coach is extremely important. Well, I want to get started in the medical field because I'm a nurse. All right, bet. Yes, sir. I am a wealth activist. Okay. Getting lucky in Kentucky. The SBA, along with the Louisville Urban League, has some really great programs. I've even signed up for coaching sessions. I want to start my own box truck company. That's the path I'm on. That's great. That's extremely awesome. Urban League is great. So yeah, do it. All right. You don't see what? Oh, so by the way, somebody said I don't see that question in the chat. Just so you know, I'm on seven different platforms. So if you are watching me from Dr. Boyce's page or Fly Nubian Queen page or Constance Carter page, I'm on 8 different platforms right now. So it might be 2 people where you are, might be 200 where you are. It just depends on where you're watching from. So you might not see certain things in the chat. Okay. Thank you for saying that. I'm not just on YouTube. I'm on other sites too. All right. Okay, so I want to talk to you about the great wealth transfer. Okay, do you know what it is? Okay, so it is exactly what it sounds like. It's a massive shift of money from one generation to the next. Now we're talking about baby boomers. Those are the people who were born between 1946 and 1964. Those are people who are my parents' age. They're transferring their wealth to Gen Xers, Millennials, and Gen Zs, thus us and our children. Okay. So it's everything from real estate to retirement accounts to stock portfolios, businesses, life insurance, and land. By the year 2045, over 84 trillion with a T will be passed down. Okay. So listen, it's not just a moment, y'all. It's a movement. What's going on? It's happening because baby boomers are aging. Many of them are retiring. Some of them are downsizing. And unfortunately, some of them are passing away. Okay. At the same time, we're living longer, thank God, to modern medicine, which means they're also drawing down their retirement accounts and they're shifting the responsibilities to the millennials, the Gen Xers, the Gen Zers. So it's not about just pulling yourself up by your bootstraps. This is about a true legacy wealth transfer that people are leaving behind. Okay. So here's the thing. This is the biggest wealth transfer that this country has ever seen in the history of this country. There has been no other wealth transfer as great as what's happening right now that started in 2010 that'll be going within the next 20 years. It's huge. Okay? So let's talk about the numbers because I think that's what's important. The numbers don't lie. Even though white America makes up 60% of the population, they have 85% of America's wealth. Asian families, they have about 9%. So that's a huge disparity. But Asians only make up, maybe 5% of the population. They still have 9% of that wealth. Latino families, 2.6% of the wealth. But African American, 3%. Now, ask yourself, if $84 trillion is transferring, how much of that is coming to you, us? It's not nearly as much. Now, it's something, but it's not nearly as much. It's not zero, how they're talking about our wealth is going to be in 2053. But according to estimates, Black baby boomers are expected to pass down $188 billion. Now, that's huge from a trillion. That's a huge, that's a big amount, but it's really only 1% of the entire wealth. $188 billion is only 1% of the entire wealth that's being transferred. Why? Of course, you know why. I talk about it why every day. I talk about the historical perspectives that have brought us where we are. Okay. We weren't given the same tools. We weren't given the same head start. When you give somebody a 400-year head start, you give them businesses, they get free labor. Of course, they should. I saw a meme the other day and said, white people, poor white people, why are you poor? Where were you when white people were stealing all the money and all the wealth and having slaves? Where was you? Where was you at? But they were given a 400-year head start. Okay, so then when we did get ahead, when we did advance, our land was stolen, our neighborhoods were redlined, our homes, even to this day, were devalued. And when we did build wealth, you got to think about Tulsa, Rosewood, Wilmington, how they were all burned to the ground. So while others were inheriting wealth, we were inheriting trauma. Okay. So some of the things that we face is with our millennials, even Gen Xers like myself. A lot of people my age, we got student loan debt out the yin yang. We have the highest average debt of any racial group. So they say, go get educated, educate yourself, go to college. You can't take your education away from you. Well, we have the highest student loan debt. And so what does that mean? That means we're graduating from school. Yay to our education. But now we can't afford to accumulate any assets because all of our money is going to student loans. Because I own a mortgage company, I've had clients that were making $250,000 a year, but couldn't even purchase a home because they had over $500,000 in student loan debt. This is in the Bay Area. A teacher was making over $250,000 a year, and I couldn't even qualify for her for a home because I think she went up to PhD or something like that, all on student loans. So while we're told to get these student loans, while we're told to get these education, the student loan costs are astronomical. Our home ownership rate isn't the same as theirs. Theirs is 70%, ours is 45%. Theirs is 74%, ours is 45%. But think about it. I always say the glass is half full because even though they've had a 400-year head start, they got 46 million acres of land for free during the Homestead Act of 1862. They were given GI bills, they were given VA loans, they were given FHA loans when they would not give them to Black people. 45% of us are still homeowners, but we still those are still some pains that we have to deal with that cause this gap. We have lower income. Even though Black women are the most educated, we still make 55 cents of every dollar that a white male makes, even if we have more skills. These are realities in America. Somebody called me the other day. Somebody DM me. I did this beautiful, and I'll share it at the end. I did this beautiful video about Diane Carroll, and it was just about, who she was in Hollywood and all that stuff. And somebody called me a race baiter. I said, shit, they ain't seen none of the stuff I put out because that was mild. But people always ask, why is it always about race? Because you've made it about race. We don't make it about race. We have to live in it. People are the major gaslighters. Even this administration, just gaslighting like crazy, just gaslighting like shit. You want to cause all this divisiveness and you want to be racism, and then you want to blame us because we are calling out your racist BS. It's crazy. But so there's these disparities that have happened throughout the history of this country. I know I don't have to give you a history lesson, but I have to. There's a Black tax that we have as Black people. Many of us have to support our parents and our grandparents and our siblings, the ones who've made it out, the ones who are successful while they're trying to build their own legacy. I met this guy. It was great. I was on my way. My car was in the shop and I had to take an Uber somewhere. And this guy came and picked me up, the Uber driver, and he was listening to EYL. And I said, "That's what's up." Hopefully he's listening to me, because I gave him the thing to my to my YouTube. And I said, "That's what's up. You out here listening to EYL? That's dope." He said, "Yeah, my family thinks I'm crazy because I'm trying to learn financial literacy, because they don't believe in this stuff. They don't believe that, I'm trying to think differently. I spent a lot of my life doing the wrong things and not learning anything. And I'm just trying to learn as much as I can." We have a Black tax in our communities that a lot of us don't have the knowledge. What that did for me is it gave me further resolve to say, you know what? There's still a lot of work to do. Black people, we need help. So thank God for the 300-400 people who watch me live and the thousands of people who watch the replays, that you're getting some information from me. I'm glad. But there are so many millions of Black people who don't have this information, that need this information. And so it lets me know that the information that I'm doing, the information that I'm giving, is good information. When I was teaching the Bring Your Idea to Life training on Saturday, one of the ladies said she had been following me for two years. She said, "I learned so much." She was like, "Constance, you teach. That's why I'm here. I'm here to teach, to give you some nuggets. I ain't here to entertain you. Sometimes I might entertain you. On the next podcast that I'm on after this, I may entertain you a little bit, but I'm here to give you some nuggets that you could chew on. Okay, chew the meat, spit out the bone, but I'm giving you some information that you could chew on, that you can learn from, that you can grow from, that you can share with your family. That's why I do this. I don't do this for nothing. Lord have mercy, my phone is off the hook today. Okay? So we have this Black tax. Many of us are first gen college educated. Unfortunately for me, my kids are the first generation college educated kids, which is good. It's good and it's bad, right? My daughter was the first one in my immediate family that graduated from college. I have a PhD, a public high school diploma. But so a lot of us, even in our ages. And the thing I love about being, just a side note, in the DMV, is there's a lot of legacy people here. It's a lot of really educated Black people that they could research their ancestors back to being on George Washington's plantation. Like these are people who have, fourth, fifth, sixth generation educated Black people. Wow. I don't know that, because my family came from, I live in California. I'm from California, but my family came from sharecropping in Arkansas. Like, we don't have that education. We didn't have no money. Like, we are literally just getting it out the mud. So that's a good majority of Black people. You do have your pockets of Black education, but we have a Black tax where we're the first generation, and we also have to take care of our children. I mean, our families, our siblings. And then the biggest thing is, I think that we have a lack of financial education. We're taught to survive, not how to grow and scale. We're taught how to get a job, not how to get a business. We were taught different things in our community. These are the things that we've had to deal with as Black folks. So listen, just because where we've been, it doesn't have to define where we're going. Because here's the thing that I love about this generation, especially these youngsters. These youngsters, they are not doing what we were told. Get a good job, get a GGJ, a good government job, go somewhere and sit down, retire, be here. Even, in my generation, people weren't staying at jobs more than 3 to 5 years, about 5 years. I think I talked about it last year, how long folks were staying in jobs. Yeah, not last year, last week. I talked about it last week, how long people were staying in jobs. Now, people are starting businesses, from beauty business, trucking, tech, t-shirts. People are starting businesses. I just talked to ladies in the Net 7 Collective how to incorporate a drop shipping business in their already business, how to create more offerings. You can have a drop shipping business. And I talked a little bit about that last week on the show, where you're making money while you're asleep. These children, these youngsters, our generation, they're investing early. This is what I love about them. They're investing in stock. They're investing in crypto, in land, vending machines, mobile homes, AI. They're investing in all that. One thing that I did for my kids is I made sure that I invest in my kids. So my daughter, by the time she was 22, she had her second property. My son, I bought him his property at 18. I still got to buy my other two their properties. I'm a little behind since then. I've gotten a divorce and I had to restructure some things. That's just me being transparent. So I got two more properties that I got to get from my other boys. I own other properties, but those are mine. But I got to get some more properties for my kids. I made it a priority to make sure that my children were investors. When my children were young, I bought them the Dr. Boyce Walk and Stock program. Look, check this out. This is my son when he was 12 years old.
Warren just finished this Dr. Boyce Watkins children investment seminar. So Warren, tell me what you learned.
So I learned about investments, money.
What kind of investments?
Well, investments, I basically learned about stocks and stuff, where when you're investing, you're basically buying a part of a company, and you can buy shares in that company. Mm-hmm. And so the more shares you buy, the more money you can get.
By you completing this module, what's getting ready to happen?
I'm about to get $1,000 to use to invest in stuff, and I'll keep the money.
So you're going to keep the money, $1,000?
Yeah, but I'm investing it with it.
Tell me about liquidity.
So liquidity is basically, okay, just learned about liquidity. It's how easy you can turn money that you get stuff into cash.
So, what do you expect to make from the $1,000 investment that you're getting ready to have?
More than $1,000? $10,000.
Oh, that's what's up. That's what I'm talking about. How long is it going to take you to do that?
I don't know. A while, because you can't get money overnight.
All right, son.
This is my son right here. Just come here, son. This is my son right here. That was him when he was 12 years old, and he took $8,000. Excuse me, he took $1,000 and he made $8,000. That's all I wanted, son. You going to work?
Okay. Yeah, I'm about to
Love
work.
you.
All right, love you too.
You taking the range over?
Yeah.
Okay. So that's my son right there. So he took $1,000 and then he made $8,000. And then when he was 16, he took my $7,000 portfolio and he made $40,000 in like 3 months. It was 2020. So my son, and then he had a group where he was actually teaching people how to invest in stock. So he's a little, we talk about that all the time. These are things that we need to do to invest in our children. So now he actually, I can't even log on to my damn Robinhood because I changed phones, and I'm like, Warren, what's going on with our Robinhood? Because I have a training inside the Grow Your Money Club where I teach you the basics of Robinhood. But these are little things that we got to do to start investing, to start showing our children. This is where this is what's the differentiator with the great wealth transfer. Okay. So this is really important, investing in our kids. So our kids are starting businesses, they're investing, they're creating side hustles. They're turning them into their full-time freedom. This is what I love about these kids. They are not staying on their job for 30 years. They're learning, they're growing, they're pivoting, they're owning their own voices, they're creating YouTube pages, they're monetizing through podcasts, coaching, content. So listen, we are doing things differently. So when they talk about the great wealth transfer and even talking about how our net worth is going to be a zero by 2053, I don't believe it. Even though there's a huge disparity, white, black families are passing $155 billion. That's less than 1% of what white people are transferring. We're still transferring something. Glass half full, y'all. Glass half full. That's how we need to be looking at things. Okay. So what do we need to do? What should we do? Oh, so Dr. Boyce Watkins has a stock trading program for children, for Black children of America, something like that. Yeah, yeah. Let me see. Thank you. He said, I wish you would steer away from the racist stuff that you are spewing. I love that you're here, and stay here because I want to teach you some things. There is a reason why I talk about the things that I talk about. It has nothing to do with being racist. And first of all, Black people can't be racist. Racist is a system of oppression. You have to. I could be prejudiced. I could be stereotypical, but being racist is not. I can't do that because I don't have any power. Racism is coupled with power. But what I talk about, Deplorable Kulak, and I'm glad you're here, is I talk about the historical context. You cannot talk about where we are without talking about what we've gone through. Okay. So stay here so that you can learn something, because I need you guys to learn something instead of just being major gaslighters, to think that because you've had, because you sit from a different place of privilege, you don't understand where other people are coming from. So I'm glad that you're here. Thank you for being here. Sophia, he don't got to get off of here. I like it. I like it. It's cool. So maybe he'll learn some things. But I have 4 children. And all 4 of us talk financial literacy. That is extremely important because that's the only way, everyone, that we're going to be able to close this wealth gap. They said in the year 2053, our wealth was going to be a zero. I don't believe that. But there are things that we can do right now today. Number 1, we got to get educated. Okay. So doing things like this, coming here, listen to me, but not just being hearers of the word. You got to be doers of the word. Join wealth building communities, join the Grow Your Money Club. That's why I have it there, so that you can invest in yourself. Listen, I've invested hundreds of thousands of dollars in myself so that I can make hundreds of thousands of millions of dollars. That's the reason why I've done it. It takes money to make money. As you know, anything that you that's going to give you a return on your investment requires some sort of investing. Right. So if I invest in myself, I know that I'm going to get a return on myself. Why? Because I am my biggest commodity and I am my biggest investment. So whether it's the Grow Your Money Club or it's anything else, anybody else is giving out there, just try some things and learn some things. Go to Google University. I got a TED Talk. By the way, Kulak, whatever your name is, I got a TED Talk called Google That Shit. Okay. Google that. It has over 440,000 views. If you haven't seen it, go watch it. But Google is your best friend. You can actually Google anything in the world. Now, you may not get the personal one-on-one as you can with other trainings, other mentorships, other programs, but Google it. Google everything, okay? But also buy assets. Stop buying AirPods. And oh, by the way, my kids, 2 of my kids, that son right there and my youngest son, they actually sell AirPods. So they have these side hustles where they're selling things online. They're selling AirPods. My son sold some Dior glasses, and they have essentials hoodies, and my kids are selling. They are hustling. My son sold, he sells Beats or AirPods, and that boy be hustling. He got a job he's on summer break. He goes to Hampton University. All my children are on the dean's list. My boys are on the dean's list. I have 2 children in college, 1 child in high school. He's on the honor roll, even though there's a little behind his late every day. He's on the honor roll. And 2 of my other 2 boys are on the dean's list. But it's all about, and grades are good. They're not the end all be all. don't judge them by their grades. I judge them by what they do outside of the classroom. What are you doing? How are you in relationship with people? How are you, are you making money? And so they're always looking for ways that they can make money. And this is what I love about this generation, because they're taking advantage of so many opportunities out there. They're not just sitting there scrolling on social media. They're actually learning. At least my kids are. I'll tell you, because I was at a dinner party one day, and this one guy was like, yeah, these kids really think that they smart and they don't know shit. And I was like, actually, to be honest with you, my kids know more than I do, just by virtue of social media. They tell me random stuff that I don't care to know, but they know a lot of stuff just because of all the information that's out there. They have access at their fingertips that we did not have, quite frankly, when we were growing up, good and bad, right? So it's important for us as the parents to make sure that we're teaching them the good stuff. But they have access, and that's the reason why they're building these businesses, and they're creating these jobs and these side hustles, and they're investing. Your kids can invest in Cash App. They can invest in stock through their Cash App. You know what I mean? It's important that we're creating living trusts and wills, so that we're not only just getting the wealth that we're passing. If you have a home, if you have some type of home, if you have one home, if it's worth $10,000, I don't care if it's a shack, you need to have a living trust. It is imperative that you have a living trust, because that's the way that real estate is the number one way that we build wealth in this country. So 80% of wealth in this country is generated through real estate. 90% is passed intergenerationally, generation to generation. So you see why the wealth gap is so wide, because we weren't able to pass wealth like other ethnicities were, like white folks were. Okay, because they took the wealth, they kept the wealth, and they passed the wealth. Okay, we weren't able to do that because we weren't able to even get the wealth. And then we did get the wealth, they took the wealth. That's what happened, homeboy, whatever your name is on here. That's what happened every time. So I don't know if you know about Wilmington, North Carolina, where there was actually the only coup d'etat that happened on American soil happened in Wilmington, North Carolina. We had an all-black thriving town where you have black politicians. They came in, they killed a bunch of people, they burned down the town, and they took all those people out of office. That's what happened. I don't know if you know about Tulsa and Greenwood, Tulsa, Oklahoma, but that's where they had 600 businesses that white people were jealous and they burned them down. And even the federal government bombed it. I don't know if you know about Rosewood. That's another area. There's been so many areas. There's been areas in all throughout the country, affluent black neighborhoods where, again, urban renewal, where they've put freeways through these communities, where they have done eminent domain, where they've taken houses. They had to decide. They had a straight, they could go this way, but no, that would disturb white people. No, let's go all the way around this way, and we don't care about them. Every time we've tried to do 2 steps forward, we've been pushed 10 steps back. Black people own 90 million acres of land, 19 million acres of land after emancipation. So don't tell me that I'm being racist. I'm telling you what's happened historically to black people since the inception of this country. You cry that we're playing the race card, but then you're practicing racism to try to stop us from progressing. So I'm speaking on things that have happened and the reason why we're in this situation. But yet, the reason why I come here is to empower my people to know that we are greater than what they've put on us, that we are greater, that we are more. And the reason why y'all do it, because J. Edgar Hoover said the biggest threat to America was black unity, was Negro unity. So obviously there is something special about black people. And it's the reason why they've worked so hard. Your folks, your white people, your white daddy who taught you financial literacy that you said when you was a kid, have worked so hard to systematically destroy black people. That's why they've done it. Yep. Mm-hmm. So, I mean, this is the reason why I come live here every day. All right. So listen, we got to create living trust. I did an ebook for everyone. Now, let me just tell you this. Let me tell you this little fun fact. When I moved into an affluent neighborhood back in 2012, we was the youngest, we was the blackest. I was in my 30s. And everybody there was white and over 60. And when I tried to look everybody up to see who my neighbors were, I couldn't, because everybody had a living trust. And then in 2022, when I moved to the East Coast, I moved to an equally affluent neighborhood. Everybody was black and nobody had a living trust. Why? Because we are not protecting our assets in the way that we should. So what did I do? I always try to be solution oriented. I don't want to just talk about the problems. I created an ebook. It's called MakeMyLivingTrust.com. $20. It'll show you how to make your own living trust using ChatGPT. I give you all the prompts, everything that you need to do, how you need to file, what state you need to file in, all of those things. So if you go to makemylivingtrust.com, if you own one property, you need a living trust. Regular people, I deal with people all the time because I'm in real estate. I have clients. And what happens when it ends up going into probate? It's lengthy, it's expensive, and your kids end up hating each other, and you end up losing that wealth that you've accumulated, that wealth which is in your property. So go to makemylivingtrust.com and create your own living trust using ChatGPT. Easy breezy. Okay. All right. So we need life insurance policies. Now, here's one thing that I do. I have some. So I own a marijuana dispensary. My marijuana, my weed money, my marijuana money, it's money that I have. I don't keep it for myself. It's for my children. So it goes into a permanent life insurance policy, which gives me a life benefit and a death benefit, and it generates compound interest. That money goes to my children. So when you're looking at doing life insurance policies, you've got to have a life insurance policy. The Bible says a good man leaves an inheritance for his children and his children's children. So you have a life benefit and you have a death benefit. So get a permanent life insurance policy and get a term life insurance policy. Something should happen to you. That's a cheaper one. It's larger, could be a couple $1 million. The whole life insurance policy is going to be a little bit more expensive. It's going to be a little bit less of a payout. However, it's something that you could actually borrow from. You can accumulate compound interest, and it's not tied to the stock market. So you're not going to see it go up and down like your 401k. Okay. So the other thing I know that we need to do, and I think this is what we're doing, is we need to collaborate more. We need to practice collective economics. I do something called the B1 Real Estate Mastery Training, and that's what the Black Business School with Boyce Watkins, the B1 Real Estate Mastery Training. We're getting ready to start up our new session. It's a year-long session. Last year was a year-long session. This year is only going to be 6 months. We ain't doing a year, but it's going to be 6 months, and I think we're going to be rolling that out in July. But this is for people who are interested in investing in real estate. Now, in these sessions, we get together in small groups. I show them how to create joint venture partnerships. I show them how to create businesses, because I can show you how to invest in real estate. That's easy. That's my wheelhouse. I could do that in my sleep. But what we need to understand is how to create businesses, sustainable businesses, so that we can pass them, so that we're not leaving our properties in probate, so that we're not open up for exposure and getting sued. Okay, so you need to really understand that piece of it. So that will be coming up. You could sign up right now, and you can actually be a part of the upcoming B1 Real Estate Mastery Training. And for those who are already in the B1 Real Estate Mastery Training, we're going to have a special price for you to take this training again. But this is part of our collective economics. This is extremely important to us being insulated in this country while all of these things are going on around us. We see these policy changes. 160,000 Black women lost their jobs last year. We'd have to get in position to where we're unaffected by all of these things that are happening intentionally, I believe, to us specifically. Okay. The biggest thing we have to do, though, is we have to teach our next generation. We have to teach them. So the things that you learn, the reason why I have the Net 7 Collective, I do what's called the Net 7 Collective, where I teach Black women. Okay. The reason why I do that is because there's an African proverb that says, when you teach a man, you teach an individual, but when you teach a woman, you teach a nation. And so I believe that, Black women, we are the mother of civilization. First of all, we're the mother of civilization. But beyond that, my TED Talk, Google that shit, was about us closing the wealth gap. And I believe that Black women are going to be huge contributors. I'm not saying Black men are, but this is just my ministry is with Black women. And I believe that Black women are going to be the game changers. Like, if you teach us something, we're going to not only teach ourselves, we're going to learn it, we're going to implement it in our households, but we're going to teach our children, and we're going to teach our communities. And that's what's going to be extremely important for us going forward. We got to stop with this rugged Eurocentric ideology of what we think wealth is. I got mine, you got to get yours. Got to get out of that. We are a communal people. We got to start being more community minded and community focused. What does that mean? We got to work together. So we got to practice collective economics. But Black women, we're the way, I believe. So my contribution is, with the Net 7 Collective, coaching Black women one-on-one, well, giving them a more personalized attention. I have a year-round program, a community of over 75 Black women that I've coached from all different walks of life, from doctors and lawyers to scientists and IT professionals, real estate professionals, educators. All of these women are inside this group of women that I coach, and they are killing the game. They are increasing their revenue. They're increasing their net worth. They're creating new businesses. They're speaking all over the place. They're doing podcasts. They're just doing amazing. But you need a coach. People, you need coaches. You need somebody that could push you to the next level, to show you different ways and give you the confidence to know that you could do it. That's what a big part of it is. So if you're interested in the Net 7 Collective, go to bookwithconstance.com. And I'm happy to have a conversation with you about what that looks like, about you, with you being a part of the Net 7 Collective. And this is for Black women. So if you know a Black woman or you are a Black woman, you can go to bookwithconstance.com or go to net7bbs.com. Okay. So listen, we got to show our kids the next generation. This shift is happening with or without us. But if we stay ready, we do not have to get ready. Okay. So listen, I just want to help you to be able to get to the next level. And everything that I do, what I do kind of, because in my profession, in being in real estate and being able to have some of the successes that I've had and do some of the things that I've done, I've been very blessed and very fortunate. I've been able to help a lot of people, whether it be my agents or whether it be the women I coach or whether it be the people that I share this with or whether it be the people who go through my program. And I'm always trying to think of ways, like if there's a gap in some way, or the things that people need, the things that my people need, so that they can get in position, so that they won't be victims and they can be more empowered. That's what I do. So that's why I have and looking out. I'm looking at my phone. I'm seeing people purchasing the living trust, Make My Living Trust. But I'm always trying to find ways where I see a gap where I can help. So that's why I do the Grow Your Money Club. So that's every month I'm throwing a new training, but that's where you can learn all types of training that'll help get you focused and centered and go to the next level. Go from that employee minded to ultimately you want to have your money working for you. Okay. So you want to become an investor. I don't want to just be working for somebody. I want my money to work for me. Okay. And then I'm going to do another Bring Your Idea to Life training. That's not going to be until July. But for those of you who want to watch the replay and you want to do it on demand, that's where I'm helping you take your idea from ideation to manifestation to monetization. Okay. So for those of you who want to be business owners and you have an idea and that idea has been festering and burning on the inside of you, now is the time to act on that idea. So I have the Bring Your Idea to Life training. It is, it's a replay. So go to bringyouridea2life.com if you're interested in that. Okay. If you are a woman, a Black woman, I would love to have a conversation with you. And just so you know, let me just share with you some of the testimonials.
3 or 4 years, I've been praying for a business coach. I knew that a coach, I read many times that all the most successful people have a coach. Coaches have coaches. I've learned how to purchase land. I've learned how to do overages in real estate. And I even learned some different things with credit, that I've gotten my credit cleaned up with my bankruptcy, that I'm almost in my home stretch, doing everything right now and applying it.
I finished 2 ebooks. If I could do it, anybody can do it. And started a nonprofit.
Gotten more out of this than I ever anticipated.
Constance has done an amazing job at placing systems to allow us to understand how to prosper in our businesses.
I'm telling you, I would move heaven and earth not to miss one of these sessions.
I'm just reading you guys' comments. Deplorable said that was 1% of people who own slaves. That actually wasn't. In any case, so for those people, somebody, Sophia said, join the Grow Your Money Club, and Deplorable said, I don't want to taint her community fund. But actually, the Grow Your Money Club is for everybody. It's not just for Black people. But the Bring Your Idea to Life training is not just for Black people. That's for everybody. The only thing that I have that's exclusively for one type of person is my Net 7 Collective. And that's for Black women. That's my passion. That's what God dropped in my spirit. And those are the people that I work with, that I work directly with. I know who they are. I know what they need. I know their pain points, and I know how to help them. And it is my passion. It's my purpose. I'm in alignment with my purpose. So anyway, I wanted to tell you about this great wealth shift. And the biggest thing, ladies and gentlemen, is I don't want you to get left behind. Okay. I don't want you to get left behind on this, because it's important that that we are in position, that we're continuing to build wealth, but we have to be proactive and not reactive. We have to do certain things in our lives so that we can make sure that we are, that we're benefiting. And I just gave you many ways where I see strides that we're making. So this is kudos to us. I understand that we only have 1% of that wealth transfer, which is $188 billion. There's a beaver, or is that a groundhog? But beavers aren't there. That's not water. That's a groundhog, yo. There's a groundhog out there. But we can take advantage of it. So I don't want to continue to look at the grass as half empty because of the inequities, because there are deplorable, whatever your name is, there are inequities that we face as Black folks. There truly are. But I do want to just give us a solution. And so just like Delano said, what's up, Delano? Power Network Conference. Just like Delano said, we got to have, we got to be able to have a solution to the problem. What'd you say, Delano? What'd you say, brother? You said, you don't have a solution if you don't understand the problem. You got to understand the problem so that you could have a solution. I think that's very, very valid. Before we get out of here, though, I want to show you, let me see. I try to do these Black History spotlights all the time. And so I try to have them uploaded up in here. But let me go ahead and show you the one that I just did, just so you can understand. I'm going to do this one. Just so you understand Deplorable Kulak, or whatever your name is. And thank you for watching. I'm not mad at them. I know y'all are protective of me, Miss Sophia, but let him come on in. Maybe he'll learn something, and maybe he'll change his mind about what his beliefs are. Because if you think only 1% of people in America owned slaves at that time, then you are sadly mistaken, sir. But let me just show you a little something about what happened even after slavery. They told us slavery ended in 1865, but they didn't say what came next was just slavery in disguise. Because what replaced the whip was a pen, a ledger, and a lie called sharecropping. My uncle once told me something I'll never forget. He said the landowners wouldn't just underpay Black families, they would lie to them. At the end of the year, they'd say, you didn't break even, you actually owe us. Even after working all year in the fields, planting, picking, and pushing their bodies to the brink, these families would be told they were in a deficit. What did that mean? They'd have to work it off for another year, and the next year, and the next. That wasn't freedom. That was financial prison. They called it sharecropping. But what it really was economic enslavement. And let's talk about what they paid them. Not in real money, but in plantation scrip. Money only good at the landowner's store. So you couldn't build, you couldn't save, you couldn't leave. Because everything you earned went right back to the person who controlled you. Sound familiar? Now look at today. You got systems like welfare, Section 8, and food stamps, which are supposed to be temporary, but often become permanent ceilings. Because the moment you try to earn more, they threaten to take it away. You finally get a raise, and now your rent goes up. You try to save, and they say you're no longer eligible. It's the same game, new name, keep you dependent, keep you down, keep you out of the wealth building conversations. While our people were stuck in the cycle, white landowners were stacking generational wealth. They passed down land, power, and privilege. We passed down survival strategies and trauma. And that's why today we still see the wealth gap so wide and so intentional. So don't let anybody tell you just work hard. Our people did work hard for centuries, and they were still told that they owed debt that they didn't create. But today we know better. And because we know better, we can do better. We don't want plantation money. We want profit, property, and power. We don't want survival. We want legacy. And we're not asking for a seat at the table anymore. We're building our own table on land we own with wealth we control. Because this time, the harvest belongs to us. Now drop a Black fist in the comments and share with someone who needs to know this Black history gem. Y'all, I love you for real. That's the reason why I come here every single day, is because I just want to drop a little bit on you. Hopefully it'll change something in your mind, something in your heart, something in your spirit. That's why I come. And make sure you subscribe to my channels. Make sure you subscribe to Dr. Boyce Watkins, Black Excellence channel. If you're watching from there, make sure you subscribe to I Am Constance Carter. Come on over to my YouTube page, yo. I have some really good information over there too, not just this. Make sure you subscribe to the Fly Nubian Queen, and then follow me everywhere at I Am Constance Carter. I would love to connect with you. I'm here. That's what I'm here for. I am a resource in any way that I can be. Okay. I love you, and I'll see you tomorrow. And if you're gonna be here, I'll be on the next podcast for Fly Nubian Money in an hour.